Hi everyone, Gavin here from CSV Getter. This is an updated 2025 video of how to export a Notion database like this one into Google Sheets so that you have a backup. I'm just going to talk you through how to do this process with CSV Getter. CSV Getter is an export and backup tool designed to automate a process like this. Now, I'm wanting to basically have a scheduled backup of this Notion database into my Google Sheets. Now, I might want this in case there's an outage of Notion or in case I accidentally delete all my Notion data. And just to be able to turn to Google Sheets and refer to my full comprehensive database in a situation like this would be really helpful for me and my business. I've just used a demo database here. I've just put a bunch of rock and roll songs into Notion and some information about this. But if you just imagine that this is a database with your data and your formatting in place, this process should work really well for you because there's lots of room for customization here. Now, in this demo, I'm actually going to start with my Google Sheet because what I'm really liking about Google's new updates is the table features, which kind of mirror a lot of the UI and the cell formatting of kind of tools like Airtable. So I'm actually going to create the sheet which is eventually going to hold my Notion data ahead of time. So I'm just going to call this my Notion database backup. But of course you can call this whatever you want in your own Google Drive. And I'm just going to use this kind of tables widget. This is a widget that they have running at the moment, which is kind of helping us give a few demos of how Google Tables work. Now this feature is quite new, but so far I've been quite liking it because it feels like a very easy to use table with lots of filtering and sorting and really nice column formatting all out of the box. And it just helps me get started, and it will show you that with this backup tool you can format your Google Sheets table, and when the data is populated by CSV Getter, everything's going to stay in place, and you can organize these things much like you would in Notion perhaps. So now over to the export platform, CSV Getter, which is going to connect this Notion and this Google Sheets. So if you've not visited csvgetter.com, it's a SaaS platform that we run. It's super easy to use, and it can help you connect these two platforms very easily. It offers a one-way sync between Notion and Google Sheets. It's cheap, it's reliable, and if you have any questions about the platform, we're very good at getting back to you. We're very good at listening to feature requests. It's quite dynamic, and it's all designed to make this process easy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect Notion. So this is done with this simple pop-up table. I'm actually already logged into Notion here. So basically what I can do is I can select the pages that I want this app to have access to, which is pretty nice because I don't actually have to give it access to my whole Notion database. So I've created this database in a folder called Dev Sandbox. I lost the pop-up window there, but I have it back. So I've created this in a folder called Dev Sandbox. So I can just give CSV Getter access to just this. If I'm just testing out the tool, I don't have to give it full access to everything. You may have some more confidential stuff that you're not comfortable giving third-party apps access to. So you can be selective here. So I'm going to go ahead and press Allow Access. And then I can go ahead and close the pop-up. And then this will refresh. So now I have to connect my Notion database. Now there's many ways that you can do this. You can go into Notion and sort of right-click the database as it appears and then copy a link. Or if you have Notion in the browser, you just copy the browser link. But if you're using Notion Desktop, you can get the database link using that tool. And then you just paste that into here. Next, you want to name your export. So this is basically, this is going to help you organize your exports in CSV Getter. So I'm going to call this my Notion to Google Sheets sync. And press create. So it'll take a wee while just to set up and basically create the connection there. It's actually creating an export here that is going to allow you to do this sync, but it's also going to allow you to do loads of other things in the platform that I'll show you briefly at the end of the video. So we're straight on to the export to Google Sheets section. Now, if you've not connected to Google Sheets yet, you'll get a pop-up which is very similar to the Notion one, which is going to ask you to select Google and allow it. I've actually already done it, so I've just got skipped straight through to creating my new sheet. So I've got two options here. I can create a new Google Sheet, and what that's going to do is just create a sheet in my drive, which is going to be called the name of the export, and then it's going to have a timestamp at the end. Now this is pretty good if every time you want to click a button or every time you want this scheduled job to run, it will create a versioned copy of your data. So you'd have my Notion data on 28th of November, and then my Notion data on the 5th of December. So you'd have archive backups. Now the problem with this, if you have limited storage spaces, your Google Drive folder will grow and grow and grow every week. So this is a great option if you want versioned backups of your data, but you have to be careful because you have to think about storage space. Now the option we're looking at in this video is update existing sheet, where I'm actually going to go ahead and select this sheet that we have already pre-formatted, and I want this sheet specifically to update every week, and just keeping the same file updated, so my drive is not going to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm pretty sure it's this one here, my Notion database backup. So I'm just going to select that, and then it's going to automatically select the first sheet. But if you're choosing a sheet which has multiple sheets down here, you could choose which sheet's going to be updated with the Notion database. Now, pressing this button, it will overwrite everything in this sheet. So if you're connecting a sheet which already has data in it, just be careful here. You are about to overwrite it with your Notion data. So the export process, as you can see, that's happened pretty quickly. Now, I'm not sure if this is updated. It has. So I don't even have to refresh this page, and you can see that this sheet is populated with the data. And here everything's basically come through. I don't actually need column 6, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But I'm pretty pleased with that because I actually have all the information I need from Notion. I can order this in any way that I want. And I can use the table features that come, as I say, with this out-of-the-box tabling feature that Google Sheets provides. But as you can imagine, you can have some formula columns over here, which this can update. You can build in some automations here if you choose to wish. But the point is that we aim to keep your formatting with this export. So now it's on to scheduling, and we offer basically daily, monthly, or weekly scheduling. We're thinking about adding hourly scheduling. So if you have any strong desire for that, then please just send a message and let us know that there's an appetite for that. And then also, if you don't want this to run automatically, but you'd rather just manually click a button in the export screen to run this yourself, you can do that. But I'll go ahead and select daily, and then you can rely on that to update daily every day. Now, we are a paid platform. Just want to be upfront and honest with that. But if you just want sort of weekly backups, it's only going to be $5 a month. It's our lowest tier, so we aim to make this really affordable and reliable. So that's basically it. So this is now going to be running daily. I just want to explore the platform a wee bit further. I've just made this daily job, which is going to run every day tomorrow at 9 a.m. Now this sits on top of what we call an export. So this is actually a job, but the export itself is something which is very powerful, and there's lots that you can do here. So you can actually go into your export and edit it. You don't have to export every column if you don't want to. You can remove them. You can also reorder the columns in any format that you want. For example, let's say if you want these things to appear in different places, you can reorder them here, and that's going to update automatically. But the export can also be accessed via URL. So if you copy this URL, you're going to be downloading this data as CSV. You can also download it as JSON, XML. So there's loads of automation that you can do, which is really useful, not just for backup, but for loads of processes. For example, your API export URL, you can use that to feed everything into Excel, and it's going to be your live Notion data. So it's a great way for keeping your systems in sync, and there's more that you can do. For example, just manual CSV download as well. So that's CSV Getter. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the platform, email us info@csvgetter.com, We hope that you enjoy trying out the tool.